Opeth versus Dio. 360 albums, Tourney. Matchup number 16. We've got Ghost Reveries by Opeth going against Holy Diver by Dio. Let's start with Opeth. I'm a huge Opeth fan, but I don't own this album. I saw it was the most popular album on Spotify, but I've never owned this one. I've got Orchid when it first came out, and it's been one of my favorite albums ever since. This album is phenomenal. I especially love the song The Grand Conjuration, which I'm quite familiar with that. But that song might not only be one of the best Opeth songs, but might be one of the best metal songs of all time. Clock's in at a shade over 10 minutes, but it feels like it's 30 seconds long, like it's a grindcore song. It's just so complex. There's so much going on, and when it's heavy, it's really heavy. There's also got moments of that song that remind me of the band Ghost, but in a good way, because Ghost sometimes gets a little boring for me. And there's plenty of prog elements, but it's not prog like regular prog can kind of bore me. So I can't just sit around and listen to an entire Dream Theater album or Genesis album without getting a little bored. Or even, what's that one band? Yeah, I don't know, I'm blanking on the other one. In addition to The Grand Conjuration, Bane of the Hounds definitely spoke to me, as well as Atonement, which is a mellower song. It stays mellow, it never gets heavy. But this Opeth album is a very, very strong album. Not that it matters, but Porcupine Tree is the other prog band I was thinking of. Shame on the Night, that is my favorite song on Holy Diver. It reminds me of one of my favorite songs when I was a disc jockey in undergrad. A song called Radio Werewolves by a band called Babylon, WHORES. Probably can't say the whole word on here, but a phenomenal song. It's got great energy, and it's a little different than the other tracks on this album. Now, this album's enjoyable. I mean, it's got Rainbow in the Dark and Holy Diver, which are two very well-known metal anthems. But the rest of the album doesn't impress me as much as Dream Evil, which was my Dio album that I had as a kid. Now, I like the works of Rainbow and Dio, and I like Dio's work with Black Sabbath, but I'm not as crazy about Dio as some folks like Mark's Metal Minute. I know he doesn't like Pearl Jam. I like Dio, but I don't like Dio as much as, say, Iron Maiden, Ozzy Osbourne, solo stuff, things of that nature. But it's a very strong album, and I think Dio's Holy Diver would have advanced in a lot of matchups, but it's just not enough for the complexities of Opeth. This Opeth album is a beautiful journey. When it's mellow and proggy, it does it quite well, but when it gets heavy, it's so heavy. But it's not just like, it's not brutal. It's a gorgeous heaviness. So advancing to the round of 180 is Opeth, Ghost Reveries. Now tell me, am I a clown for not advancing Dio here? Do you love this Dio album? Do you love Dio in general? Do you listen to much Opeth? If so, what do you think of this album? And do you think The Grand Conjuration is one of the best metal songs ever? I absolutely think it is. I don't know where it would be in like the top 25 or 50 metal songs of all time, but it would have to be in the conversation. Cheers.